Ooh, kitty. Ooh, big kitty.
Now back with the Pet Project, the real-life Catwoman, Tammy Trujillo.
I like that title personally. And I'm joined by our CH Ambassador Cat of the Day, Clayton. So if you're watching us online, you are seeing Clayton trying to learn some microphone technique. I think that's what he's working on. And he still is purring, by the way. Deb Martin is with us. She is an adoption specialist with CH Kitties. Deb, what would you tell somebody who's watching us today and says, oh, he's really cute, but what do I have to do? Whoops, I think we lost Deb. Okay, we're hooking back up with Deb later on. Anyway, Deb Martin is our CH adoption specialist. You can find Deb online at Facebook at Special Needs in Need. You want to go to that page. And also at chkittyclub.com. And make sure you check out everything about these CH Kitties. Also go to us on Facebook at The Pet Project, because I've got a couple videos up of CH Kitties. One is of a kitty named Charlie. Now, Charlie's not my kitty. Charlie is, I think, back east. And they put up this video a number of years ago when they first got Charlie. His people did. And it basically just explains CH from Charlie's viewpoint. And it is one of the sweetest videos you're ever going to want to see. And it'll really explain to you what a CH Kitty's idea about the world is from Charlie's viewpoint. There's also another one we put up on our Facebook page at the Pet Project today about a different kind of CH kitty who's very much like a little kitty we have at home named Billy, who never has walked and slides on her side. And a lot of rescues, not rescues rather, but a lot of shelters and such would have said, you know what, there is no quality of life for this kitty. Well, Charlie and Billy would tell you different, and I think you'll really enjoy this video of seeing how this kitty slides through life and has a wonderful time doing it. Okay, at the top of the show, we also mentioned a kitty named Apple. And Apple was found in a storm drain a while back, and this kitty is an interesting, beautiful little kitty, but has hydrocephalus. Now, I'm not going to even try to explain it to you. I have the doctor who is treating Apple right now on with us, Dr. Audra McCorkle of Sherman Oaks. And Dr. Audra is a holistic animal doctor. Dr. Audra, what exactly does that mean?
Well, hydrocephalus, I'm looking at it obviously from a holistic standpoint or Chinese medicine. Mm-hmm. Basically, there's extra fluid in the brain, or the ventricles, the sacs in the brain, they swell. There's too much fluid there, and it actually causes extra pressure on the brain. And from a Chinese medicine standpoint, it's a congenital problem, which means there's a lack or a decrease in Jing, or vital force, in the animal when they're born.
Okay. Now, how are you treating this? Is it something most vets would treat? Let's go there first, Audra. What would most vets say about a kitty like Apple?
Most traditional allopathic vets, which is just your regular Western vet, would they'd obviously send you to a neurologist. Okay. And they would most likely be recommending a surgery to put in shunts or drains to try and shunt off that extra fluid. It's something that human children can have too. So some people might know someone who had a child or a friend with a child that has the same problem.
That sounds like a very, not just serious surgery and complicated surgery, but a very expensive surgery.
Very expensive, and oftentimes they fail and the shunts clog and they need to go in for repeated surgery. So
Something
it's a
tough.
lot of stress on the individual.
Yeah, a little tiny kitten, a lot of stress on a little infant, small kitten, a lot of stress on that person, that
and
kitten's
the family.
people.
Definitely very serious.
Now, you saw Apple. How old was Apple when you first got to see? Is Apple a little boy or a little girl?
Apple's a little girl.
Okay. How old was she when you first got to see her?
I believe Apple was, I think she was 3 months.
Little tiny thing.
Little bit, and very, very tiny. I mean, she looked like she was probably, 6 weeks old.
Oh, my gosh.
Because they are also very tiny because of the congenital abnormalities and the Jing deficiency.
Now, what did you think of Apple when you first saw her?
Well, she actually had an incredibly strong life force for having this type of problem, and she responded really well to the first acupuncture treatment.
Now, what was when you first saw her, give people an idea. You've got a kitty here. Its head's going to be enlarged.
Head's very large, looks like a big apple on a little bitty body.
And I noticed when I saw some pictures of Apple early on, her eyes were kind of bulgy too.
Yeah, and it's not even so much that the eyes are as bulgy as they're very wide.
Okay.
So it's like a deer in the headlights stare, if you can imagine on this, and the eyes aren't that big in relation to the head. So the head itself, the forehead, is quite large.
Now, that might sound scary, but trust me, Dr. Audra, when I saw the picture, I thought she was so cute. I wanted her. I wanted to take her home.
Couldn't believe it.
What was she like to deal with as opposed to just a regular, normal kitten? How much different was she, or was she different?
Very similar.
Really?
Very similar, very playful, very alert, watching me, wondering what I was going to do next. Loved the chiropractic massage portion of her treatment.
Oh, I bet.
Really calmed, settled down, so it wasn't like she was, frantic or anything. Really melted into the acupuncture, loved it. And the owner had reported amazing response to even the first acupuncture treatment.
Now, Naomi Byers, who is Apple's foster mom, is listening to us today. She let us know on Facebook. So
Great.
I know this is so exciting. Now, in terms of acupuncture, what are you going for with this kitty? What are you trying to do?
Well, the points I'm mostly using are points that correspond to the kidneys and the spleen, liver. So I'm trying to move any stagnation as well as tonify the kidneys, especially because the kidneys really the energetic organ of the kidneys. We need to tonify that because they are weak in pretty much any animal with a congenital abnormality, but specifically for the bone. So anything that has to do with the bone or the skull, the brain, you really want to work with the kidneys very strongly.
Now,
and you don't need a lot of points, so it's not, there's not 20 needles going in.
Well, it's too tiny of a kitten, but my goodness.
You could with something different, but with this, you really don't need that many. And like I said, she really enjoyed the treatment as well.
Yeah, you would think a kitty would be terrified of I've never had acupuncture, Dr. Audra. The idea of somebody putting needles into me, quite frankly, scares the heck out of me.
Well, kitties tend to love it, and one of the greatest things that I've seen acupuncture work for is kidney insufficiency, which, as we know, as cat lovers, they tend to have quite a battle with as they get older.
Oh, absolutely.
And they respond so well, and they love it.
Okay, Dr. Audra, stay on with us. We're going to take a break, come back, find out how that first treatment with Apple went. There's lots more ahead on the Pet Project here on CRN, and I want to remind you about our new phone number, 216-369-PETS. Now, what you'll do is you'll go to our voicemail. You can leave us your comments, your questions, tell us some topics you want us to hit. Tell us how awesome your baby dog, baby cat, baby raccoon, I don't care, whatever it is that you love that's got fur, feet, fish, fins, webs, you name it. Let us know. We want to hear from you. 216-369-PETS. It's open all week. We're back in just a few on CRN with the Pet Project.